Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, and I want to talk about a report from the Jasmine brand. I also saw it on Diana Rose's YouTube channel yesterday, where the Bravo network is rumored to be considering getting rid of the entire Housewives franchise. I can't say that I 100% believe this rumor, if you will. And we're going to talk about also Nene leaks, her saying some years back on Entertainment Tonight that Kenya Moore will be the demise of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're going to play that clip. Now, before we get into this story, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. So I saw the headline yesterday on Diana Rose's channel while I was, doing things, running errands, and the Jasmine brand reports this today. And the Jasmine brand has a picture of Brit Eady because her lawsuit against Bravo is the latest lawsuit that has come from a few different housewives. So the Jasmine brand's headline reads, Bravo allegedly is considering dropping the entire Housewives franchise following the ROA rookie Brit Eady's $20 million lawsuit. Now, there are growing whispers that NBC is considering ending the entire Real Housewives franchise following the $20 million defamation and harassment lawsuit filed by newcomer Brit. Over the years, the network has faced a few big lawsuits and allegations, including a now resolved legal battle with Nene leaks, as well as union threats from Bethany Frankel and Leah McSweeney's lawsuit against Andy Cohen. Also, according to insiders, Brit's lawsuit might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. A production insider shared with reporter Rob Shutter, what made Housewives great is the chaos, is now its biggest threat. It's just lawsuit after lawsuit. They added the drama made it great, but now it's a walking lawsuit. Shutter noted the champagne's flat, the taglines are tired, and Bravo may finally be done playing hostess. As reported during the grand opening of her Kenya Moore hair spa, Kenya Moore showed explicit photos allegedly of Brit. After skipping filming for the season 16 reunion special, Brit released a statement claiming she wasn't the woman in the images. She also alleged that the network was aware of this, but still falsely yet unmistakably implied to the public that the images were of her. She added Bravo contributed to a hostile work environment by subjecting her to unwelcome, offensive, and sexualized behavior and comments when they required her to continue filming after a gendered attack. She is suing for defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, sexual harassment, and more. Now, I do want to say that just on Saturday, Candy's assistant, Don Juan, went live on his YouTube channel saying that he was given some information that allegedly Brit stripped down, like totally down to her birthday suit during the trip to Grenada. And this is all alleged, Brit, in front of both the cast and crew, and that there were even confessionals from the ladies saying how shocked they were. And in my commentary on his live, I did say I was wondering, who gave him that information, and did they ask him to go live, almost like a subtle defense on behalf of Bravo and NBC Universal and the production company. Is this why they're coming out with this? We also saw within the past few days that Andy Cohen posted on his social media that his contracts, and including his show, Watch What Happens Live, has been renewed with Bravo. So he definitely wanted to put it out there that he individually is not in any trouble. And that would be interesting if the network is seriously considering getting rid of the entire Housewives franchise, and they just renewed contracts with Andy Cohen reportedly. I was actually thinking when I saw this headline earlier, I was thinking, well, perhaps Bravo just wants the Housewives to start coming out and talking about the lawsuits, saying, enough is enough. Bravo is a great network to us. Because I imagine now, after this report, when the housewives are interviewed, they will be asked to give their opinion on the string of lawsuits. And I imagine I can see like the Giselle Bryants of the world saying, I'm totally against it. I disagree. And they may even go into more details. I'm just not fully convinced that Bravo would seriously consider dropping the entire Housewives franchise. I'm wondering again if they are just putting this out there, if their attorneys, are slipping this story out to the blogs in hopes of trying to get the viewers and the on-air talent to say, whoa, 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 enough is enough with these lawsuits. If they're trying to like definitely garner some public support on their end. What do you think? Do you think that the Bravo network is seriously considering just ripping out the entire Housewives franchise? I feel like, that is their bread and butter. That is how they can charge advertisers. Now, I know that the ratings are not the same. We saw when Carlos King interviewed Nene Leakes, it's probably been about 2 years now. They were saying that at its peak, Roa would get on average 5 million viewers per episode. Now they get on average about 500,000. So that is a huge difference. But are they still able to charge advertisers for the commercials? Absolutely. So, and they're paying some people like a Portia upwards of $2 million per season. And reportedly, Kenya made 80 grand per episode. I know she just starred in 5 episodes of this current season, Sweet 16 of Roa. And we know that when Candy was on the show, she was making a couple million per season. So the network, I'm convinced, is still making money if they're able to crank out those sort of paychecks to the on-air talent and still be profitable. These shows definitely make a lot of money. And I'm just not fully convinced that they would seriously get rid of their bread and butter. So there are some people in the comments on this post saying that, oh my gosh, Nene said that Kenya would be the demise of the show. Kenya would be the end of Roa. And people are definitely responding, going back and forth saying, what do you mean Kenya? So we all know that Kenya is involved in the situation that led to Brit's lawsuit. But I just wanted to take a look back on that clip where Nene said it. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can take a look at when Nene said that. So please hit the like button. It'll just be a few more moments here. Okay, let's see. So I just simply Googled a sentence. Nene said Kenya would be the demise of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And it's on this Entertainment Tonight clip. So we're going to listen to the first few minutes. Nene says it in just a little after 2 minutes of speaking. And then I will come back with my commentary. Here we go.
I think sometimes when you're like that personality that's powerful, like me, you've been there since day one, I feel like I'm a threat to certain girls. I don't know why, because I personally think that everybody has their own lane. The problem is, don't you try to cross over in my lane. Now stay over there. We're going to have a car crash. I mean, stay in your lane, girl. Housewives is my baby. And I really do want to see it, stay around for 10, 15, 20 years if we can.
Okay, Nene, that is what you told us just in November.
Yeah.
But now we got to talk rumors, because there are rumors you may be wanting to leave Housewives, or people maybe trying to phase you out? What is happening?
I don't know about the whole phasing out part. Actually, I asked Andy to ask Kenya why was she going around saying that, and I think Andy helped kind of clear that up a little bit.
Let's take a look at what happened on Watch What Happens Live with Andy himself.
Yes.
She would need to ask Bravo why they're cutting her out of many episodes this season.
Okay, but you're saying that she's being phased out?
Well, I think she is.
She's fighting to stay on the show.
Do you have a word for your reaction to that clip?
That girl is crazy. Something is really wrong with her. No, seriously. You know, if it was my time to go, I absolutely have no problem with that because the show has been good to me. I've been there since day one, and I opened up this door so Kenya Big Mouth Moore could walk through it. Okay?
You're an OG, Nene Leakes. I mean, this franchise is built on your shoulders, and
Yes,
I know
it
that.
Yes, it was.
So what about her saying that they're cutting you out of episodes?
Well, how does she know? I mean, does she in production? I mean, I don't know. I don't know why she says the things that she say, but what I do know is for whatever reason, I don't know how it sounds. I don't know if it even sounds great to even say, but I think that she would love for me to be gone so she could be, in her mind, the head of the show, or the queen of the show, or the one that everyone is talking about. With me there, it's very difficult for her to have that kind of thing. So, and I also think that if I leave the show and Kenya stays on the show, she will be the demise of the show.
Why do you say that?
Because she's a nasty girl. Her attitude is nasty. She's not a cool girl. None of the girl she tries to talk about the girls doesn't like me. None of them like her. I mean, her attitude is stank.
But the show is built in large part on drama. Back in the day, you and Kim used to go at it. So how do you differentiate between what works and what doesn't then?
Well, first of all, when Kim and I had our differences, there's a difference between Kim and I and me and Kenya. Kim and I had a real friendship. We were friends before this show ever started, and our kids were friends. Kenya, I've never had a friendship with her. I've never had a friendship with her. She's always come around and just wanted to bicker with me, and I think she want to bicker with me because it looks good in the press. That's all I could think of.
Okay, so we heard Nene say, if she leaves the show and Kenya stays, that Kenya will be the demise of the show. Now, I even felt like the Entertainment Tonight host, she definitely wanted clarification. I think she was kind of whoa, because that's such a strong statement. But Nene's reasoning was, she has a bad attitude and the girls don't like her. She says the girls don't like me, but it's her. And, there were people in that Jasmine Brand comment section saying, oh, Nene is a prophetess, Now, what do you think? Do you think that her words rang true? Or do you think that was just her giving some sort of clapback to those clips that Entertainment Tonight played of Kenya saying that Nene is trying to fight to remain on the show? I kind of feel like it's not 100% prophecy. I think that was Nene speaking out of angst and being annoyed with those clips and what Kenya said about her fighting to stay on the show. Kenya did not cause Brit's lawsuit all on her own. Both of the women contributed to where things are right now. We know that Brit started with the pow pow threats and you gonna learn today, and really talking like she was about that life. And then Kenya, she hit back, and you can tell that Brit has been watching the show because she literally sat at that same table and said, I didn't send for her, and Kenya said, thanks for using my catchphrase. So she was familiar with what type of time Kenya is on. I'm not making excuses for Kenya, but Brit, that when you go there, that Kenya is going to take it lower, even further. And, here we are. Now, according to Brit, those images were not of her. And she claims that Bravo yet and still ran with this storyline and, aired the clip of the Kenya Moore hair spa where the images were revealed. None of the cast questioned whether or not that was somebody else. They all talked in their confessionals as if they thought that was Britt. So I'm actually not fully convinced that the images were not her. Not that I want them to be Britt. I just can't see Kenya making such a monumental mistake. And then on top of her mistake, Bravo having the mistake of airing it and going along with it being Britt. When all those people saw those images, nobody questioned that it wasn't her. So it just seems very convoluted, her claims and her lawsuit. But what do you think about Nene's words? Do you think that they were prophetic? And do you think that Bravo is going to drop the entire Housewives franchise? I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. And again, I hope that you all had a magnificent Monday and not a manic Monday. I said that in my video that I made earlier, just moments ago, about an alleged fight at Bambi's engagement party over on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. But I hope that you all had a great Monday. Mine wasn't so bad. I cannot complain. Monday is not really like the best favorite day to have to face, but I did face the work day and it is behind me. And we are all going to have a terrific Tuesday. Say your affirmations, journal, pray, whatever, helps to lower your stress. Go for a walk, which is what I'm about to do soon. And I will talk with you all later. Bye.